Hello folks, and welcome to Sandustry, a factory automation game by Lanto Games, and today we are going to be playing it wrong. Very, very wrong. This is Prospector U, and he is going to be our avatar in this game. Now, in this video, I'm going to be playing it very, very wrong. I'm going to start by following the tutorial for a short amount of time, and then I'm going to stop. What we are going to be doing in this video is not automating anything, in fact. We're going to follow the tutorial until we make some shakers. But once we have shaken some gold and gotten through to the point where it asks us to make shakers, we are not going to do that, because doing that will actually stop us from completing what we want to do today, which is to get all the way through the demo before building any automation. So we're going to go through and we're going to start off shaking out some sand, shaking some gold, making some slag, getting that slag and burning it, and all of these things, all the way through to making a fluxite emanator and making my name Takovach in fluxite, all without going any further. So what we're going to do first is building up this gold collector, which we're just going to place above what we're doing, and I'm just putting in a rain stop there because we don't want any water to go into that stopper. So yep, we're just going to go and get all the sand, all of the items that we need, shake it, put slag onto this pool of water, and we will get all the way through to the end like that. So we do need to do some research. So first we're going to go and research some automation stuff, which we're not going to use. And then we're going to research some more automation stuff, which we're not going to use. And then we're going to research some guns. So we need 500 gold to do that. So we'll be going all the way through to get that. As a note, I have lost the audio for the any of the parts where I'm speaking, due to me messing up when I made this recording in the first place. As it is, we are going to see us do all of the research bits. We know we need to go 500 gold, and then we're going to speed up the video so that you're not sitting around waiting for the entire length of the video for any of the bits where I'm just getting to the next stage. So with that, in about a minute, we're going to go start off the first high-speed section, and I will see you back when we have 500 gold. And so here we are. We have a 500 gold, and it's time to get our unlock. So we'll unlock the guns, but we are not going to be unlocking filters or pipes. Those are automation. We don't want those. We need tools. No, we need tools for 250 next for the rocket for the flamethrower, and we'll also need refining too for the kinetic slag press to make the slag, which is that big grey block, go away. This is what the gun looks like, doing some shooty things, making some basically removing the ground, replacing it with sand, which will then pick up, shake, and carry on the process as we have been going. It's important to note that sometimes the ratios of how things come out aren't always clear. But with sand, if you put sand into water, you actually get twice the amount of wet sand. So if you have a look, we've dropped that in. We've now shaken out one set, got our gold from that, and then we pick up the rest of it, and it's another whole pickup of the grabber. Shake that out, and we've got another set of sand. Right, so the next amount that we're going to need is 1250 gold. Once we've got that, we will see you back here, and then we're going to be getting rid of that slag, getting more gold, and running through that process there. Right, see you soon. And there we have it, 1253 gold. And it is now time to get the next bits of research so that we can get rid of this slag. Right, so go to the research tab. We're going to go and get the tool. So we're going to need a flamethrower. We don't want lights. We do not want the vacuum, but we do want the kinetic slag press, which we are going to build in a couple of places and it not be quite right, but it will get all sorted out by the end. We actually want it a little bit lower than we're building it there, but we need a little bit higher than when we build it next, but you'll see when we move that, because we end up with some problems when we are trying to do so. So we've built 6 in a row. We don't actually need that many usually when we're automating, but yeah, we did on this occasion. Basically dropping it is not as exact as when you're automating it. And look at this satisfying burning of this slag. Once it's all gone, we're then going to start dropping in slag, and you'll see the bits and bobs that we get. We just have to wait a little while. It's quite satisfying after you build up so much to see it all start breaking down. You'll see that some of the slag remains as actual slag and some of it gets burnt. It's just a bit of a random process, and some of it doesn't always get into the right place. And we can also see some steam is rising. This is going to start falling again as water, and it's going to show you why I built the little ramp to direct the water back where we want it to go. So now that we've got most of that there, we should be able to... this is where I decided to build a little house for the slag press, because the water going into slag press will make it stop working, which we don't really want. Though I mess up building this a couple of times because I am that good. But once we got there, it actually looks kind of nice. You can build some nice structures with the blocks. And so, yeah, it's got a little hat. The kinetic slag press hat. Now, we're going to get the grabber and start dropping stuff in. And you'll see that we get some gold and we get what looks like just wet spores. But they're actually dry when they come through. But because we're dropping it straight into water, the wet ones sit below the dry ones. Sorry, the dry ones sit below the wet ones, and so the dry ones always hit the water and get made into wet spores. This is actually a big logistics problem with the automation, but when you're not automating it, it's easy. You just drop it into water and there we go. Our next things that we're going to be aiming for, we're going to be aiming for getting 2,000 gold for refining 3. That's going to get us planter boxes, which is where those wet spores are going to go. Then we're going to need to also get guns for the rocket launcher. That is for access to areas which we're going to need to get some more resources from, but we can't get there without rocket launchers. As is, it is now time for me to disappear once again to go and fast forward probably a little bit faster this time, because 1,000% has been fine, but I think we're going to need to go a little bit faster because it's getting more and more time reaching between some things. Oh, this is the point where I built this in the wrong place. You'll see that the slag isn't coming out, isn't sorting itself out very well. We just need to move this up a little bit, which we do by copying and pasting, which you're going to see right about now. Come on, past tack, do the thing. There we go. Lift it up a bit, delete the 2 little bits. The slag press is built by the bit at the bottom, not the bit at the top. The bit at the top just tells you how high you need to be to get it to do the thing. But now there's more space, it will all go in fine. Right, I will see you shortly. I'm going to go for 20 times the speed this time. As we approach 2,000 gold, I thought I'd just run into something I'm doing with the collector. I've decided to put it at the bottom of the pool, so as we drop the gold in, it'll start getting counted straight away, just to prevent me from needing to do quite so much moving around of things. The other reason that I might take it away, as I'm just demonstrating at the moment, is that things which aren't gold won't go into the collectors, which is good. But it can cause some problems when you're trying to drop things and it goes directly onto the water, because as we make those spores, they'll eventually start reaching down to the point where there actually isn't any space and they won't get wet, and that will cause me some trouble. But like I say, we are now approaching 2,000, then we're going to get the spore, what's it called? The planter boxes, and then we'll be able to get some flower goodness going. We're particularly close right now. Once again, do apologise for the audio. I did basically have a bit of a configuration mess up, which means that I have audio that was recorded badly due to a badly configured filter in OBS, meaning that I can't remove and then record instead of. I have to record over. But there we go, we've got the planter boxes, and I'm going to start building up my planter box area. Going to have a little bit of a gold collection area at the bottom with some walls, and then the planter boxes along the middle. And what we love about this is that we're going to meet our favourite substance in the game, Amethyllis. Whilst Trimbark Tree may hate snow, Amethyllis is my bugbear. I just want to get to the early access game where I believe that it will be possible to burn it and turn it into a gas instead. That gas, which will then be able to add to water and distill more gold. Because what don't we like in this game but gold? I like gold. Right, so collector box is going in. And then we're just going to drop the spores on the plant boxes, and you see they start growing up straight away. This area is going to get full of petals eventually, and that's going to be great. By the way, each of those flowers, you've got 4 bits of Amethyllis, which is the petals, and then you've got the centre of it is gold, which will be obviously dropping through the boxes into the below. Just need to get all of that filled out. The next things we're going to be going for, so we're going to get the rocket launcher. Well, I'm going to skip over seeing that and going into areas. You see the area to the right, there is a sort of a yellowy rock that can be destroyed by the rocket launcher. And I will go in there before I come back, but I'm not going to make too much of a feature of it because it's just going to get me some upgradable stuff with the fluxite. The purple stuff, which I've got up the top left, which is a different currency, that is going to be handy later to get me a faster firing gun and triple fire, but for everything else it's not really worth me doing anything with it in this run. If I cover Sandustry some more, which I'm expecting to, I'll go into some more bits and bobs about upgrades and things. Sandustry itself has actually had a really good modding community build up around it, despite the fact that it's, I'm going to say, just a demo. But the fact that it has like the 3rd version of its mod loader has just recently come out, and I'm using a couple of mods actually today, based on I have got the quality of life mod, some QOL, and I've got a mod that means that I don't have to jump to go over terrain. So if I'm walking, it'll literally just go up light slopes. And there is something else that I cannot remember, but it's very, very lightly modded. It's not hugely modded. Right, but then, like I say, we're going to... Oh, I think I just displayed on there that when you get the spores onto the plant box, it actually sends a seed that starts going up and trying to find its way to some air, and that's where the plants come out. And you can actually grab them and move them around. Right, I think it is now time for me to go and get more sand and shake it. I think I'm going to go even faster for the next lot, because it's going to be a while, because the next stage that we're actually going to get to is just about the end. So, see you soon. Ta-da! And there we go. We have finally managed to get everything done. All we need to do now is to make void bloom and then put it into the flux emanator, which we built on the wrong side of that that sign already. Just bear with me a second and that will get fixed. To make void bloom, what we do is we take this red sand, we drop it into the Potassium or the Amethyllis, and it turns into that purple stuff. The purple stuff sits on top of red sand and the petals, so it can be a bit painful to deal with, but we don't care because this is not automated, so it doesn't matter about density. I'm just going to pick it up wherever it is. See, this is why automation game's bad, because you can just like do stuff the manual way and it's easier. Unfortunately, you do have to do everything. Right, so what we're going to do now is we are going to let the rest of the video play out, sped up of course, so that we can just see the rest of the fluxite name being made. We'll come back to you right at the very end. I think I realised before I actually put the void bloom in, because otherwise if I don't move it I'll need to actually keep doing it. I'll need to be further over on the screen and it'll make it more annoying to put everything in. That's why I made the move. And then yeah, we're just going to remove the rest and go and get this set up. It will not take too long now that we've got everything prepared. Just so you're aware, this took about 2 hours, 2.5 hours in real time. And as you can see, as the void bloom goes in, it's pumped out. Now, one thing to note, that is a lot quicker than it is in vanilla. This is one of the QOL mods. It does make the void bloom come out. Sorry, yeah, the fluxite come out a lot quicker. Right, so without further ado, I'll leave you to it, and I will see you just right at the very end. Cheers. And there we go. We are done. We have managed to make our name in fluxite. That's a phrase I would never think I would ever say. And yeah, we have managed to do all of this in, like I say, in an hour, 2.5 hours. This is not something that you should try at home without adult supervision. Be aware that it will be carpal tunnel inducing and will not cause you to have a great time at the end of it. Your wrist may hurt. Do not do this. I have been Takovac. Hope you've enjoyed watching this, and if you have, do think about giving the video a like or subscribe, and I'll see you soon.